What's up everyone, Tim here, aka FCFan21, bringing you week 1 of the MMDL AAA League. This week we take on the Indianapolis Colossals, coached by Shiv Kebab. And since this is week 1 and there's no last week, we can jump right into the scary team that Shiv Kebab has built for himself for this season. We start off with Slitherwing with Adaptability and Protean, both making it so his stat moves will get a massive boost. A Earth Eater and Unaware Alolan Muck to take away its weaknesses and just do not care about setting up. Beats of Ruin and Desolate Land Delphox to both boost his special attacks and especially the fire type attacks in Desolate Land. Punk Rock and Fluffy Sylveon, with Punk Rock giving it a boost for all sound type moves and Fluffy boosting its defenses. Sarina with Tough Claws and Regenerated for a boost in contact moves and basically healing itself back up when it switches out. Primordial Sea and Sapsipper Seismitoad, boosting its water type moves in Primordial Sea and taking away its only weakness with Sapsipper. A Prankster and Delta Stream Rotom Fan, Prankster giving it priority for its status moves and Delta Stream to take away all the flying type weaknesses, giving it basically no weaknesses at all. Tablet of Ruin and Filter Regice. Tablet of Ruin boosting its defense by taking away a quarter of the attack stat of the opposing Pokemon and Filter taking away 25% of the damage from super effective type moves. Queenly Majesty and Shadow Shield on Minior to take away any priorities fired at it, and Shadow Shield boosting or halving damage output from the opponent when Minior is at full HP. And finally Sword of Ruin and Scrappy Tauros with Sword of Ruin boosting its attack by 25% by lowering the defense stat of the opposing Pokemon, and Scrappy making sure that its normal and fighting type moves hitting the ghost types and also being immune to Intimidate. Out of those 10 Pokemon, I think these are the 6 Pokemon Shiv Kebab is going to bring, with Slitherwing there for amazing damage output, Delphox with Desolate Land, basically counteracting my Inteleon that I can bring with Primordial Sea, Prankster Rotom Fan to hinder my team, Regice with probably Tablets of Ruin to make it very hard to break down, Sylveon, Punk Rock and Fluffy both make sense, so depends if he wants to be a offensive or defensive Sylveon, and an Alolan Muck with Earth Ether to, in his mind probably make sure I cannot hit him for super effective type moves with, most likely in his mind my Crocodile. So against these 6 Pokemon, what am I going to bring? First of all, we bring James Bond the Inteleon with a Timid Nature, Primordial Sea, holding the choice specs to give a special attack a 50% boost, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Air Slash and U-Turn as its moveset, Hydro Pump getting boosted by his Primordial Sea, so basically being a complete nuke with water type moves. Ice Beam is there for 100% accurate moves, the Air Slash is there for the Slitherwing mainly, and U-Turn is to be able to get out of there quite easily, honestly. Enamorus Therian, aka Celebrity. I've put in a little bit of speed on it, so when Steam Engine is activated, it's basically able to outspeed everything with a Choice Scarf by going to +6. I may give it max attack Lonely Nature to lower its defensive stat, because the most basically this is going to take on Delphox, so I need my Spadef a bit more than my Fizdef. And 240 in special attack, so when my weakness policy procs, I can use both Earth Power on the special side and Play Rough, Iron Head and Zen Headbutt on the physical side. So get hit by a fire type move or a super effective type move first, and basically be able to live and deal massive damage. Dr. Fetus the Reuniclus is going to be a fully supportive set. Max HP, max special defense, calm nature with 8 points in defense, holding a Tengaberry, mainly for the Slitherwing, because that thing is scary, but also lowering the damage from potential U-turns, having Future Sight as its only damaging move, so my opponent Shift Kebab has to really be aware of what and when he's switching what in, and giving me a bit of an easier time predicting that. Recover to keep Dr. Fetus healthy, Encore and Thunder Wave, basically locking something into something they don't want to be locked into. Thunder Wave to control speed on my opponent's side of the field. And I'm basically here to support the other Pokemon on the team. For example, a Reptile Dysfunction, the Crocodile. 208 speed is speedy enough to outspeed Rotom, Fan and everything slower than it. With max attack 48 points in Spadef, because again his special side is more threatening than his physical side, I think, for at least Crocodile. Of course there's a Slitherwing, but let's be honest, I'm not gonna live much hits from a Slitherwing with adaptability. Instead of adaptability, I gave it Mold Breaker, so I can hit even an Earth Eater Alolan Muk. Earthquake, Rock Slide, Gum Shot and Skill Shot. Skill Shot is there to boost my attacks, my speed stat, which is amazing because after one Skill Shot I am able to outspeed everything that's not Scarfed, basically. And even Rotom Fan and slower I am going to be able to outspeed because I've got +1 and Scarf is basically +1 in speed. Gunk Shot is there to hit things like the Zarina, and Earthquake is just going to be an amazing nuke for this Pokemon, giving it a Life Orb to boost that damage output by 30%, taking away 10% of my health every hit that I give, but I think Crocodile is fast enough to make it work this week. Agile Alolan Sandslash with basically max defense, well-baked body and the Chople Berry to hopefully take a fighting type move from the Slitherwing. Ice Spinner, Iron Head, Counter and Rapid Spin. Basically when full health I hopefully can live a hit from the Slitherwing, click Counter and take it out. If not, I can still use Rapid Spin in my advantage to boost its speed and deal big damage with Iron Head and Ice Spinner. And finally we will refresh the Galarian Corsola. Very defensive, but with enough speed to outspeed, and now I have to think. It was something pretty slow, I think. No, it's not the Alolan Muk. Oh well, with max Spadef and 76 points in HP, this is able to take a lot of hits, especially with Fluffy boosting that defense and Eviolite giving both defensive stats a 50% boost as well. Nightshade to deal consistent 100 HP damage, Substitute to hopefully be able to keep my Eviolite around a little bit longer. Strength Up to take away the health of physical attackers and Stealth Rock, because my opponent does not have a lot of removal. So yeah, these are the 6 Pokemon that are gonna have to do it for me this week. There were, of course, a little. Sorry. So there we go. Of course, there are a few Pokemon that I left off the team this week. For example, I left off the Pyroar, mainly because the normal and Fire Step that it has would have been able to do decent damage, honestly. But I think there are just too many fire resistances on this team, like Minior, Seismitoad and the Delphox. And yeah, Pyroar not being able to outspeed the Tyrells was also something I didn't really like. So I decided against the Pyroar. Rotomo was something I decided against, mainly because of Slitherwing. Yeah, in combination, even with Thick Fat, Delphox was still able to deal massive damage into me. So yeah, the Slitherwing, Delphox, yeah, also a bit of Rotomo because, yeah, Will-O-Wisp and such, and didn't feel right to bring. Well, it just didn't feel like a Rotomo matchup for me. Fezandipity with Earth Eater or Corrosion was also left out because, yeah, I didn't feel like the Seismitoad was coming, so Earth Ether wasn't really on the table for me, and Corrosion might be decent to poison the Alolan Muck, but besides that, yeah, the only thing I can think of why I would bring it in hindsight is it's a good Slitherwing switch in, because it's quad resisting its bug type moves, and it's also quad resisting its fighting type moves. So could have bought it, decided not to, because besides that, it would have had a hard time against the Delphox. I feel like a possible Seismitoad that I don't really think is coming, but still, and something physical like a offensive Minior might also be very annoying to deal with. And in the end, Paldean Tauros was also not brought because it just didn't have a great matchup. Slitherwing, Delphox, Sylveon, Rotom Fan, and Minior all kind of resisting it and being able to take it out. So in the end, I opted not to pick those Pokemon. So these 6 are what I'm going to bring against Shiv Kebab. Yeah, normally this is where I say, let me make contact with Shiv Kebab and let's jump into the battle. But the battle will be tomorrow up for you guys. So if you're hyped, let me know down below what you think of the team and what you think the end result of the battle will be. Can I win with this team against Shiv Kebab, or do you think I'll get smoked? Yeah, let me know down below, and I see you all tomorrow for the battle. See you then. Bye.